Hey guys, welcome to Smoky Mountain Morning. What a great weekend we have had. We have been in Fontana, North Carolina, and enjoyed every second of it. And you know, the funny part about it is, when you're in production, you run into people that you grew up with in the same town, even though they may not be from the same town, and you run into people who introduce you to other people, and that is what's happened tonight. Heath Shuler, wow, what an amazing experience to come to Fontana, North Carolina, and run into you. What brought you here tonight?
Well, obviously, Sean Fest has been a great tradition here now, and Matt Stillwell is a childhood friend of mine, and so get to hear a lot of great music, see a lot of friends and family, and been a great place to see Fontana Village has really grown in the last few years, and being a part of this district and representing this district from in Congress is a great pleasure, and then obviously to be able to go out and spend great time with a lot of great people and listen to good music.
Well, I mean, the last time I think we saw you in East Tennessee, you were not your Congress pleasure. What? What is this? What are you doing now?
Well, things have changed. I mean, it's I'm a member of Congress. Once I left professional football and left, University of Tennessee to turn professional. It's been an incredible experience, and I've got to experience so much. I feel so blessed to have so many great opportunities, and this is a great opportunity to be able to represent our country and the people of this community.
It's funny because we set this thing up pretty quickly for you guys watching now, but my mom even, because I live in the area and I move away. I live in the area and I move away. And so when I came back the last time, Mom was like, should you try to sell real estate? Heath Shuler did it. And now here you are, and you're heavily involved in making changes, and in Congress. Let's answer that question. Can you make changes?
Well, you can. You can obviously.
Differences, I guess.
You can make a difference, and you can make changes by influencing people around you. And most of the time, it's making sure you have a great relationship with your colleagues. Most people will look at it, you look on some of the news, and it's a us versus them approach, but you really, the behind the scenes work, the people who really want to get something done, not the ones that always want to be out front and the loud voice and get all the attention, but the people truly doing the work behind the scenes. You can certainly influence the changes that are needed in this country. We've got a lot to do and a lot of work to do, but at the very end of the day, I mean, we must look at it as we're all Americans. It's not Democrats, Republicans, progressive liberals, Tea Party, conservatives. We all have to be Americans. I think that's where we ultimately have to take our country, and we have to do that together and realize that there's a huge amount of differences in this country. We are very diverse, and it's what made our country so strong. And the way that we can maintain that is to look at the things that have happened in the past in a very positive way, learn from our experiences, and move forward.
I feel like Anderson Cooper all of a sudden. Do you feel like our country's in trouble?
Well, no. I mean, we've got a lot of work to do. I think the biggest problem that we have is instability, and whether it be in the economy and in the market, but the real instability is in Washington, and it's because some of the leaderships that we have needs to step forward and start talking about what's good for the country, not what's good for the political party.
Amen. I'll stop you right there. Amen. Amen. I mean, keep going.
That's the biggest problem that I see, that it's we need to start doing what's right for our country. I tell my colleagues all the time, and they kind of look at me really strange when I say, look, if we will do what's right for this country, even if it means that you will lose your job this next election, if it costs your job because you've done what's right for this country, you will have done what was right for the next generation. And I truly believe we'll do what's right, even though if we don't get reelected, 10 years from now they'll say that was the greatest Congress to have ever served. And that's the way I would like to have been noted and be noted as representing our country.
Do you think that in what you're doing, do you think that there would be some effort into bringing more attention to the fact that Western North Carolina is just as much a bordering state to the national park as any of East Tennessee?
Well, obviously, I served on the Interior Committee, who helps oversee the national park, and one of the, I think the one of the great things that we was able to do together. And it took a lot of members of Congress, both in the House and the Senate, but there was a road that was supposed to go through the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, and it's always been noted as the North Shore Road, but we like to call it in Swain County, where I grew up, the road to nowhere. And we always wanted to maintain that because of the incredible beauty that we have of the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. The last thing we want is another road through the park.
Right.
And so it was a controversy had been going on for 67 years. And members of Congress after members of Congress after representatives who had come and gone, never could get the deal done. And that was one of my main goals of going to Washington, is get a deal done. And we got it done. And we got it signed. Got it. The president signed it. The House, the Senate, the governor signed it. The Tennessee TVA signed it. All of the groups that was involved knew that the last thing we need is another road. Now we can go. You can go on the lake. You can get right here at the boat dock at Fontana Village, and you can drive along the shoreline, and you don't have to worry about seeing automobiles. And you can actually go out and explore. You can hike. You can fish. And I think that's what people are really starting to realize, what we have to offer. You know, East Tennessee, Western North Carolina topography, people are very similar. Really love our conservations, the Great Smoky Mountain National Park or National Forest that we have, the state parks that we offer. To be able to take those and look how the next generation is going to be able to come and enjoy and be good stewards of our lands and protect the great gifts that we have been given. You know, I think we're going to see more and more people start to recognize that, and we've already seen it. I mean, Western North Carolina has grown exponentially over the last few years. I mean, you can look at East Tennessee's done the exact same thing. Great weather, you know, and we got incredible assets with our lands and our mountains, our lakes, our streams. But the real reason why they stay, they'll come and visit, but then they move here. It's because of our people, and that's what's so unique about our area.
Did you think that you would be doing what you're doing now? Was this a direction that you had, like, even 5 years ago, 6 years ago?
Well, I'm in my 5th year, but before that, I really never realized that.
I don't keep up with politics.
No, that's
sorry.
okay. But I never. There was a few things I said I would never do in life, and obviously, run for political office was one of them. So you have to watch out. Don't ever say you won't do something.
Don't ever say never.
Never. And it happened with me. I mean, I was asked to run once before when I lived in Tennessee, but I chose not to. And it's a very difficult job. I mean, it's you know, the time commitment, being away from the family. I've got 2 incredible kids and an incredible wife, and you know, they help give me this opportunity to be able to go out and help our country. But it takes an entire team, and our family as a team is that's the most difficult thing for me. But I never thought I would do it. I mean, that's you know, I won't make it a career that, you know, 20, 30 years for members of Congress, but you know, I enjoy what I'm doing. I like making a difference, and you know, as most people would not realize, I mean, there are really good people in Congress. Unfortunately, just one bad apple spoils the whole bunch, and we have a couple of bad apples right now we need to get rid of. But you know,
we won't talk about that.
And hopefully this next election that happens. But all that being said, I mean, you have to ensure that when you go through life and your walks through life, that you give it your all, you do your best, and make a difference in people's lives.
What's next for you? When do you quit? Where do you start from? Do you keep going? What's your goal to accomplish before you finish?
Well, I think you continue down a path of, you know, I've been very, very, you know, blessed to have an incredible group of colleagues called the Blue Dogs.
Thank you for including that, because I didn't know how to bring it in, because I didn't know enough about it. Troy was telling me about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's a great group. It's a moderate group of members of Congress that look at a more sensible, common sense approach, and it's more about the policy, not the politics. And so, you know, that in itself, that group of individuals that I have the privilege to represent and be the chair of their caucus, is the co-chair, is absolutely what keeps me going. And so who knows? I mean, I don't know what the next chapter in the book leads to, but right now I think that we'll just keep working as hard as we possibly can for the people of this country.
I hope we run into you again.
Great.
I've shook your hand twice now, and I want to hug your neck, because it's good to know that, you know, somebody like me is on the same path as someone like you, and if I can make a little bit of difference in your lot of difference,
change one person's.
It is true.
Just change one thing in one person's life, and you've made a difference.
The guys, follow this guy. If you guys are in Western North Carolina or any other state, and you want to come to Western North Carolina, it's a great place to be, and it sounds like that there's maybe there's some changes coming to our way. I don't know. It's just 5 years and there's something going to happen. Right. You've got something inside you that, it's the first time that I've seen people talk about it with a passion. And for you to be one of those politicians that everybody's talking poorly about out there right now, you got passion in your eyes, and it doesn't look like greed. It looks like passion, and that's amazing. Third time's a charm. Guys, when we come back, we're going to be with the Black Lilies. Black Lilies are also here at Shopfest this weekend, and a very dear lady that I met that has a good little product called Moonshine, and her name is Troy, and she's with me on the show. So stick around. It's a great Smoky Mountain morning. So stick around. It's going to be a great day.